iPad stream up and going. What is going on, you guys? Wonderbro here with a iPad stream. At what time is it? Let's see, 1 o'clock in the morning, my time. I am really hot in my room. Okay, I promise. I'm not trying to come on here half naked just to do it. It's actually really hot in my room. Hence why I'm holding my microphone. I have nothing to clip it to. So we're going to be talking about the only way to retrain your brain today. Which, if you've watched my videos for a while, you already know the answer to that. But we're going to be diving more in depth with that. Acceptance. We're going to give it a few minutes for people to get in here, though, before we get started. I was just thinking, we talk a lot about thoughts on the channel, or we have been. No, Nova, not today. Nova's trying to get involved with the stream today. Not today, Nova. Sorry, girl. We talk a lot about thoughts here on the channel. A lot about thoughts. And we used to talk a lot about acceptance in general. We've got our two main keys, but we haven't actually talked about behaving how you wish to feel. That's one way to put it. Acceptance, whatever you want to call it. We haven't talked about that side of things in quite a while. So I figured we'd do that in today's stream, tonight's stream. Christopher, hello. Welcome to the stream. Rio, hello. My mind, hello. Gustavo, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? You're hilarious. Very funny. I love Gustavo. Paul, how you doing? Absolutely, Paul. Yes, 110%. So yeah, like I said, I know we've been talking a lot about the thought side of things, and we haven't done a video or stream in a while going over, our first main key, which is acceptance. Behaving how you wish to feel. So I wanted to do that in a stream today. I was going through my videos, editing some things, working on some thumbnails, and I noticed we haven't actually went over acceptance in quite a while. We've been mostly on thoughts for quite some time. Oh yes, this is 110% real. You've never caught a live stream before? That's awesome. Well, welcome. Make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you can catch them in the future. So, let's see. We're about 3 minutes into it. That's enough waiting time. Let's get right into it. So, the only way to retrain your brain. So we're going to go over some key components here today. Now, and I'll get around to reading your comments as soon as I'm done with the point of the stream. So, how does anxiety work? Let's start at the basics, at the very bare basics. How does anxiety work? Why does it do what it does? What is the deal? Anxiety is meant to save your life. It's meant to save your life. And back in the day, when we were cavemen and cavewomen and we were running from saber-toothed tigers and trying to survive, and each and every day our lives were in danger, anxiety was actually very helpful. Very helpful. It was great. Okay, but present day, we don't really need anxiety, do we? Most of the time, our lives are not in danger, but we still have anxiety there. Anxiety is still a part of our daily lives. But since we are no longer running from saber-tooths, that is a problem. We've made anxiety into a problem. The anxiety does not know that we are afraid of it. So we get more anxiety because we start avoiding, we start using coping methods, we start showing our brains that there is a danger where there's not a danger. So the anxiety, not knowing any better, gives us more anxiety in order to protect us. It doesn't know that we're using coping methods and we're avoiding and we're behaving these fearful ways, because we're afraid of anxiety. It thinks we're avoiding and using these coping methods and behaving these fearful ways, because we don't know any better. We don't know any better. The anxiety sees what we're doing. It sees us running in circles. It sees us staying locked up in our room. It sees us, using these coping methods, using avoidance, and it doesn't know any better. It doesn't. So, to the brain, when we're doing the things that we're doing, like avoiding, using coping methods, acting fearfully in the face of fear, to the brain it means that we need more anxiety because there's something wrong. Now, logically and rationally, we can sit down and we can tell ourselves that there is no real dangers. We know there's no tiger in the room. We know there's no saber-tooth. We know that we're not in immediate danger. The brain does not know that. So what language does the brain speak then? What can we do to convince the brain, hey, I don't need the anxiety, hey, I don't need any more protection? We have to go against its advice. We have to go against the brain's advice. And this is acceptance. So let's say, for example, your coping method, and you can apply this to your situation, whatever it may be. Let's say one of your coping methods is anytime you get that adrenaline surge that's very common with anxiety and panic, you like to get up and you like to pace around the room, you like to pace around the house, whatever it is you do. If you continue to do that, if you continue to behave fearfully like that when your anxiety is turned on, okay, your brain is going to continue to think that you need protection. Therefore, it's going to keep your anxiety levels high. It's going to remember that. It's going to remember what you do in those moments. It's going to remember how you're behaving each and every day to determine what it needs to set your anxiety levels at. So, if you, starting tomorrow, okay, let's say you wake up and no matter how sensitized you are, no matter how crappy you feel, no matter what amount of anxiety is there, if you decided to behave and act in line with how you used to behave and act, before you were sensitized, and you continued to do that, you continued to go against the anxiety's advice, you accepted the anxiety for what it was, okay, but you continue to disregard its advice. I don't need your advice, I'm going to behave this way because I know that I no longer need the anxiety. I'm going to behave and act how I want to feel. I'm going to behave and act in such a way that I tell my brain that I no longer need its protection. Guess what will happen? Those anxiety levels will slowly lower. As a result, the symptoms fade. As a result, those protective thoughts seem to fade. And this is the beauty of it. The hurdle that most people face is making themselves do that because you don't feel like doing that because you feel like crap. But the fact of the matter is, the more you behave fearfully in the face of fear, the more your brain is going to assume that you do need anxiety, that you do need continued protection. And that's the trick of all of it. You can sit around all day and try to think your way out of anxiety. You're never going to be able to think your way out of anxiety. I tried to think my way out of anxiety for years. I got absolutely nowhere. You can come to as many rational, logical conclusions as you want, but until you start showing your brain that you don't need anxiety, it's going to continue giving it to you. So you can sit around and come up with all the rational, logical solutions that you want, as many as you can possibly come up with, but it's making no difference to the brain. The brain has to be shown with your new accepting positive behaviors, with cutting out coping methods, with acting like you're not afraid in the face of fear. It needs to be shown this in order to slowly lower those anxiety levels back to normal. So if you've got coping methods, if you've got a certain way that you've been behaving because you're full of fear, if fear has limited you to behaving certain ways, certain patterns, you need to eliminate them and start to behave how you want to feel and stop taking the anxiety's advice in order to heal. I'll give you another example because I love examples. Let's say, let me try to come up with one. Let's say you have a coping method of every time that you get that adrenaline or that anxiety, you jump straight up out of bed and you call someone on the phone and you pace around your room. You need to cut that out because that's in your brain that there's some sort of danger. Your brain is still in the caveman days. If it sees you running around or staying in your bed all day or avoiding and hiding and fleeing, it's going to assume you're running or hiding from a tiger. It doesn't know any better. So you have to behave and act in line with how you want to feel while accepting the anxiety for what it is. Also, keep in mind, just to throw our second main key in there real quick, just to plug that in there, those negative thoughts, they will fade. And yes, they're causing a reaction because you are sensitized. Your body doesn't know any better. But just disregard them. You don't have to follow them. There it is. Hello. Welcome. I don't hate you, but there you are. You're a symptom of my anxiety. You're causing a reaction because I'm sensitized. Hello. Goodbye. And I'm just going to focus on my positive behaviors. Those will fade as a result as soon as I heal. Our two main keys, okay? Our two main keys. So figure out how anxiety has impacted your life. What has it caused you to start doing that you normally wouldn't do? What coping methods have you picked up? In what ways are you behaving fearfully? Figure out how you have changed your life due to anxiety and then reverse that. and then do the opposite and go back to who you were before you were sensitized, even though you don't feel like doing that, because the more you continue to behave fearfully and go down these old coping methods, these old patterns, the more the brain is going to continue to assume that there's a saber tooth on your ass when there's not a saber tooth on your ass, okay? And this isn't an instant cure, but if you dedicate to it, you will see relief rather quickly, okay? Time frames are impossible, but you will see relief. All right, you guys, so I just wanted to do a stream on the acceptance part of things. All right, I hope those examples helped you. Before I wrap it up, I'll give you another one. Let's say you wake up tomorrow and you're full of anxiety and you don't want to do shit. Trust me, I understand. Been there many, many times. You would still get up anyway and accept the anxiety, and you would take that shower and you would smile more and you would brush your teeth and you would get on with your day. You would clean that house. You would knock out those chores. You would do whatever it is that you got to do. You would socialize with your friends. You would not stay in bed all day locked in your room like I used to do quite a bit. You would not avoid. You would not put this shit off because you don't feel like doing it. Anytime you behave like that, you're showing your brain that there's a danger where there's not a danger. And I understand that you're going to want to lock yourself away. Anxiety makes you want to lock yourself away. But the more you behave like that, okay, the further you're getting away from experiencing relief. And that's just the facts. You know, that's just the truth. So if you want to retrain your brain, it only learns in one way, and that's by watching what you do. Watching what you do. You're teaching your brain with how you behave and how you act and what you do throughout your day, whether or not you use your coping methods, whether or not you continue to behave in this fearful manner. You are teaching your brain with what you do every single day, whether or not you need to continue to experience high levels of anxiety. And that's the bottom line. That is as simple as it gets right there. So I know you may not want to go out tomorrow and talk to your friends. Go talk to them anyway. I know you may not be interested in watching that football game. Watch it anyway. I know you may not be interested in eating dinner today. Eat the dinner anyway. Your brain is still in the caveman days. We're no longer there, but your brain is. So you got to think, if there's no real tiger, what would I be doing? How would I be behaving? Because that's what the brain's looking for. That's what it's watching for. All right, you guys. So that's the end of today's stream as far as that point goes. The point of the stream is over. I hope it helps someone out there understand a little bit better. Now, I'm going to slap these glasses back on and read some comments. I'm going to slap my glasses back on and read some comments and light up a stove. Keep in mind, you guys, like I said, this is not instant relief. It takes time to retrain a brain. Don't try this for a day, 2 days, and then say, oh, hell with it, this is not for me. No, give it 110% dedication and continue. Okay, you will see small amounts of relief, and it'll build up until eventually you realize you're healed. Eventually you realize that your good days are starting to outweigh your bad days. Don't give up on this. I hope I made sense during this stream, because I'm pretty tired. It's almost time for me to hit the hay. I'll try to get caught up on comments, but there was a lot of comments. I know you guys are talking amongst yourselves, though. So I'll just read a few of them very briefly. Fear of going crazy is actually very, very, very common. It was one of my main driving fears. Guess what? I never went crazy. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Christopher, for being awesome mods. Yeah, DJ Kroll has a good, a good point there. Moving to Chicago, totally switching up your... I mean, you don't have to go that drastic to heal your anxiety. But what he did, apparently, was moved, got a job, started doing, went to the full extreme. And what he did was he showed his brain that there was no need for continued protection by breaking those old fearful patterns, by breaking those coping methods. Hi, Chris. Beautiful man. Thank you, Rita. I appreciate that. New to the channel, just want to say hi, great videos. Well, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Gustavo, you're the man. You the man. Keep in mind that those nagging thoughts, they only cause a reaction because your nerves are tired. Your body doesn't know the difference between a real threat and your imaginary thoughts. So there's no point in arguing with them, okay? As soon as you heal, those protective thoughts will go away. Don't worry about your thoughts. You don't have to follow them. Focus on healing. Focus on accepting. Thoughts come. You don't have to follow them. It's just another symptom. No, I have not been to Mountain Magic. I'd like to, though. I apologize if I got tongue-tied at all during that little spill. Like I said, I'm pretty tired. I probably got tongue-tied quite a few times. Hopefully it made sense. Still dealing with a few symptoms, Gustavo. Still proud of you, though. You haven't been doing it for that long. Wow, we just went dark. There we go. You haven't been doing it for that long, so it's no surprise to me that you still experience a few symptoms. You're definitely not crazy, John. If anxiety can make you go crazy, I would already be in the nut house. I promise you that. I promise you that. I know it's hard to relate, even though we're all in the same boat, and I've been there, and you've got a lot of recovered people in the chat who have been there, and you've got people who are still there, and we all can relate. I know it's hard to say, it's hard to imagine that anyone feels the way you feel, but it's true. It's true. We all have experienced what you've experienced. None of us have went crazy from anxiety. Come by our shop. We are a big fan. Oh, you guys own the shop. Oh, that is awesome. Yeah, I would love to. Like I said, I'd love to. It's been on my to-do list for a while, actually. The worst thing you can do when you can't sleep due to anxiety is to try to force it. You're just going to get yourself more worked up. Don't have any expectations as far as sleep is concerned. Just tell yourself that you'll sleep when you sleep. We can change these pathways. We have to continue to show our brain by living life as the anxiety isn't there, and it slowly gets better. Exactly, you nailed it. And I know it sounds simple. It's a lot easier said than done, but it's still very, very possible. If I can do it in the state that I was once in, you guys can do it. Trust and believe. Any tips on how to stay patient? Put so much focus and dedication on your retraining that it becomes exciting after a while. You just want to continue pushing it. You just want to continue to have fun with your retraining. So you're not sitting around saying, oh, when will this work? When will this work? And getting down on yourself. You're just getting up every single day, excited to continue retraining. Excited. I agree, Gustavo. I agree with that comment. Yeah, it's really easy to get frustrated and impatient, but turn that impatience into excitement. Each day I'm going to get up and I'm going to be excited to do things today that show my brain that I don't need the anxiety anymore, okay? And you don't have to do big drastic things like somebody said they moved to Chicago and started a new job and stuff. I mean, that's great. That is amazing. You don't have to do big drastic things, but just change the way that you're living. If you're living in a fearful way, if you've stopped doing things due to your anxiety, if you've picked up a bunch of coping methods, just cut all that out and just get back to who you used to be before the anxiety. Even though you don't feel like that internally, but soon your brain will catch up. I don't think YouTube offers direct message anymore. They used to, for content creators at least, but I don't think that's a feature anymore. But if you guys want to chat amongst each other, I do have a Discord chat. Where you guys can all meet up. I think Joe just posted the link to that. Yeah, he did. Discord is free, by the way. It's completely free. Yeah, don't view your anxiety as a monster. That's a great comment. We've talked about that before. Don't view your anxiety as a monster. View it as an overprotective body, because that's what it is. An overprotective guardian angel, if you will. An overprotective big brother. Whatever label you want to put on it, just don't view it as a monster, because it's definitely not that. It's your body being overprotective, and you now need to show it that you don't need it to be overprotective anymore. I know a lot of you have probably lost sight of who you used to be before the anxiety consumed you. But if you can just get a glimpse, if you can just try to remember just a glimpse of who you used to be before the anxiety took over, how you used to laugh at these thoughts, how you used to behave, just get a glimpse of that in your mind and work from there. Become that person again with how you behave, and the brain will catch up eventually. The brain will catch up eventually, and it won't be an act anymore. Use acceptance. Continue to just march right through the anxiety, behaving non-fearfully in the face of fear, and your brain will eventually catch up too, and it just becomes your reality once more. That means, like, if I went bowling, go bowling, even if panic shows up. Live your life regardless of whether panic shows up or not. Show your brain that there's no real tiger. The brain doesn't know if there's a tiger or not. You got to show it that. And at first, like I said, it's easier said than done, but it does get easier. What's your favorite restaurant here in town? Oh, Red Flower, all day long. Although we just got a shit ton of Red Flower, and I'm burnt out on it at the moment. But I'm sure it won't be long, and I'll be eating it again. I don't even know if that's real Chinese food. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's Chinese food, but I don't know if you ventured out into a bigger city somewhere, if you would have more authentic Chinese food. Either way, it's good. It's delicious. To me, anyway. Your old self comes back, and you can actually come back better and can handle life much better. Yes, exactly. I know it's hard to glimpse that, but it's true. You've helped me so much, bro. You're changing lives. More people need to hear you, brother. I appreciate that. You are awesome. I'm doing my best. I love your comment from earlier, by the way. I'm going to read it once more. We can change these pathways. We have to continue to show our brain by living life as if the anxiety isn't there, and it slowly gets better. There you go. I love that. You nailed it with that comment, dude. Yeah, I don't know if it's real Chinese food or not. It might just be like, my town's version of Chinese food. But I don't know how authentic of Chinese it is. But it's one of my favorite restaurants. So it tastes good. That's all I care about. I agree. I saw a glimpse of my true self and was more confident than before, yes. And the more you continue to dedicate to everything I just preached about in the stream, the more your real self will start to come out. The more you'll start to glimpse that more and more until it builds and builds. I believe it's cooked by Chinese people. Rat on a stick is our favorite thing. Yes, rat on a stick. It's so good. It's so good. I've heard people call it that before, rat on a stick. For our little Chinese restaurant in my neck of the woods. But you know what? Even if it is rat, whatever the... And I'm not saying it's rat, okay? It's not rat. I'm not trying to kill Red Flower's reputation here. It's not rat. We just call it that. But I'm just saying, even if it was rat, I'd still eat it. It's good. It tastes good. It's not rat on a stick. Shout out to Red Flower. It's awesome. I had tons of irrational fears, but my biggest irrational fear during sensitization was going crazy. And we see this a lot. Either you fear going crazy or you fear some sort of physical death, heart attack or whatever it may be. Usually you fall in one or two categories, but it doesn't matter which category you fall in, you can still retrain. You can still retrain. The advice applies to both categories of people either way. I'm from Virginia. What do you do if you cannot sleep because of anxiety? First off, don't try to force it. The more you try to force it, the more you just get yourself worked up. Drop any expectations you have on yourself. Like, don't lay there in bed thinking, I need to go to sleep tonight. It's been 2 days since I've slept. I need to go to sleep tonight. You're just getting yourself more and more worked up. No expectations on sleep. Sleep will return. Continue to retrain. No expectations on sleep. I had no idea you were from VA. Yeah, I'm from VA in the woods, back in the woods, small town. I was gonna smoke another stove with you guys before ending the stream, but that was my last one, and the other ones are in the closet that means I would have to get up and go get it. I'm not wearing any clothes, so this is YouTube. I'd get in trouble for that. I know you guys are disappointed. I know you're disappointed, but that'll just have to wait. Your body will eventually sleep regardless, yes. Yes, it will. Those are some of the most common signs to look for healing, by the way. Your sleep will slowly start to return, and your appetite will slowly start to return. Those are two big signs to look for. Barbara, the two main keys will bring your old self. Yes, Gustavo is a good example of that. Very proud of Gustavo. Like I said, there's a Discord link. Some of my mods have already posted it. I think it's in the description of my streams. I'm not sure. My videos, you'll find it. But Discord's completely free. There we go. Joe just posted it. Awesome. Always right on time, Joe. Discord's completely free. You can get it on your phone, your tablet, computer, whatever device you have. You can join by clicking that link, and there's a bunch of people in there. I think we're approaching 200 members in the Discord chat, and it's just a big fancy chat room based around acceptance. I know that anxious people love their chat rooms, so I figured, you know what, if they're going to do it, I might as well make my own and make it acceptance based. All right, if you're going to join a chat, you might as well join in an acceptance based chat. Don't abandon using the advice, though, just because you're too busy on the chat room 24/7. You're not going to do yourself any favors if you do that. Use the chat room if you want, but make sure you're using the advice. What books are you currently reading? I'm not a huge reader, really. I'm not reading any books at the moment. I've got a handful of books on my phone that I read when I was learning a lot of the stuff that I know now. A lot of Dr. Claire Week's books, obviously. Few books on the brain, that's about it. Alright, you guys, I am going to go ahead and end this stream here. Wow, we've been going for almost half an hour. I'm going to end this stream here. Thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate it. I love each and every one of you. 10K subscribers, we are on the way. Help me reach that goal. Share me out. I can't grow without you guys. It's just impossible. I can't grow without you guys. Share me out. Let's try to reach and help as many people as possible and hit our goals. In the meantime, I love you guys. Give a thumbs up to the video if you enjoyed it. And until next time, as always, right there, stay awesome.